Hello, everyone, and welcome to This Explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to jump into today's topic with you. We're going on a fast-paced, really exciting journey through the whole vibrant world of transportation. We'll be looking at a fantastic little poem, and then we'll dive into some clever ways to categorize exactly how we move from place to place. So buckle up because we are going to cover a lot of ground, and water, and sky. But hey, before we launch into the main text, let me ask you a quick question just to get the gears turning. How did you get here today? Seriously, think about your morning routine for a second. Did you walk, catch a ride on a bike? Maybe you took a bus? You see, every single day we make choices about how we travel, right? And those choices depend on where we're going, how fast we got to get there, and honestly, sometimes just what we feel like riding. So keep your own journey in mind as we explore today. All right, section 1. Let's read the poem. Look at these wonderfully colorful illustrations. We've got a child imagining all sorts of different modes of transport. There's a bus puffing along, a jet blasting right through the clouds, a train zipping by, and a little red car. Having this visual context really sets a playful, imaginative stage for the words we're about to read. Okay, let's start with the very first stanza. Here we go. How did you get there? How did you go? Did you take a bus? No, no, no. The bus is too slow, don't you know? I'd rather take a train. That's how I'd go. Man, do you feel that? When we talk about the bus in this poem, the words literally almost drag. It's totally meant to feel frustratingly slow, exactly like being stuck on a bus in heavy, bumper-to-bumper traffic. So the narrator immediately jumps to a train. Let's read the next part. How did you get there? How did you go? Did you take a train? No, no, no. The train is too fast, don't you know? I'd rather take a jet. That's how I'd go. Did you catch how the rhythm changes right there? The syllables just fly by because whoosh! Suddenly we're on a high-speed train. The poem brilliantly uses that pacing to match the literal speed of the vehicle. It's so clever. But wait, now the train is too fast. So what's next? How did you get there? How did you go? Did you take a jet? No, no, no. The jet is too high, don't you know? I'd rather take a car. That's how I'd go. Just imagine for a second looking way, way up into the clouds. The jet is soaring at thousands of feet, and for our narrator, that altitude is just a bit too intimidating. It's way too high up there. So we come crashing back down to earth, to the trusty car. Let's finish it out. How did you get there? How did you go? Did you take a car? No, no, no. Petrol is too expensive, don't you know? I'll just walk. That's how I'd go. Ah, man, we all know that feeling, right? Fuel costs can be a total headache. After all this wild imagining of zooming around the globe, the narrator makes a very confident, satisfying, and, most importantly, free choice, simply walking. Sometimes the simplest transport really is the absolute best. Moving right along, Section 2, Choosing How to Travel. Now, what's genuinely interesting about the poem we just read is the underlying logic. It's not just a random list of vehicles, right? It's a series of choices based on really specific, relatable reasons. First, we have a brilliant play on opposites. The text compares the bus, which is rejected for being too slow, with the train, which is immediately rejected for being too fast. It's kind of like Goldilocks trying to find the bowl of porridge that's just exactly right. The poem uses these extremes to bounce the reader from one idea to the next, which totally keeps the energy high. And this brilliantly illustrates our second comparison. We contrast the jet, zooming way too high up in the sky, with the car, safely on the ground. But, well, the car has its own earthly problem, expensive petrol. It's a really humorous contrast between the spectacular heights of aviation and the very grounded, very practical reality of paying for gas. It brings all that soaring imagination of a poem crashing right back down to reality in such a fun way. Now, if you looked closely at the text earlier, there was a yellow read-aloud box highlighting a really important grammar tool used to give the poem its bouncy rhythm. I'm talking about short forms, or contractions. I'd is actually just short for I would or I had. In the context of the poem, I'd rather take a train flows so much faster and smoother than I would rather take a train. These short forms combine two words to make conversational English sound supernatural and snappy. All right, on to Section 3, the world of vehicles. This fantastic illustration captures a sprawling, super busy, moving world. There's a twisting road right next to a river, a train track carving its way through the mountains, and a clear blue sky up above. And literally everywhere you look, there are different machines built to carry us around. It's a beautifully complex transportation network, honestly, just like the ones you and I navigate every single day.
Section 4. Sorting our transport. So the absolutely crucial point here is, how do we actually make sense of all these different machines? Well, we can take this giant list of vehicles and group them into their proper pathways. Let's start with our very first massive category, laid out in big, bold English letters: roadways. These are the paved paths, the dirt tracks, and the highways we use to travel across land. It's probably the pathway we are all the most familiar with on a day-to-day basis. Pulling straight from the list in our text, what actually belongs on the roadways? Well, imagine driving through a bustling town. You might dodge a zippy, three-wheeled auto rickshaw. You might pass a traditional, slow-moving bullock cart. And, of course, you'd see plenty of cars, just like the one our poet rejected because of that expensive petrol. All of these definitely share the road. Next up is our second big category, railways. Now, notice the visual difference from a road. This isn't asphalt. These are heavy metal tracks laid down over wood or concrete. It's a highly specialized pathway. And because it's such a specialized pathway, it obviously needs specialized vehicles. We categorize the traditional long-distance train here, the one the poem said was too fast. We also add the metro train, which is absolutely fantastic for zipping quickly underneath or above a really crowded city. These vehicles strictly need those metal tracks to guide them safely to their destinations. No tracks, no train. Now, let's direct our attention upward to the airways. The sky isn't paved, obviously, and it doesn't have tracks, but it is absolutely a designated pathway for some of the most impressive feats of human engineering.
So what belongs up in the sky? The text gives us a pretty great list. We have the hovering, super versatile helicopter. We have the aeroplane carrying hundreds of passengers across the globe. And connecting right back to our poem, we have the jet, the one flying too high. These sky-high vehicles use the airways to drastically cut down travel time across massive distances. Finally, let's splash right into our last big category, waterways. Long before roads and rails connected the continents, oceans and rivers were basically the primary highways of the entire world. To complete our sorting game, we add the mighty vessels that conquer these waters. We have the smaller, everyday boat, which is perfect for a river or a calm lake, and then we have the massive ship, built to carry enormous amounts of cargo or passengers across the vast, rolling oceans. They belong exclusively to the waterways. And this basically illustrates everything we've been talking about today. Here is our completed chart summarizing our fantastic categorization adventure. By mapping everything out, from the auto rickshaw on the road to the jet and the airways, we transform what could be a chaotic picture full of vehicles into a perfectly organized system of transport. It shows exactly how humans have managed to conquer land, metal, sky, and sea to get wherever we need to go. We've explored the really fun rhythm of the Go, Go, Go poem and organized an entire world of transportation. So I want to leave you with one final, totally provocative question. What is your favorite vehicle, and where is it going to take you today? Whether you choose the dizzying heights of a jet, the blur of a fast train, or honestly, just a simple, free walk down the street, I hope your journey is a great one. Thanks so much for joining me on this explainer, and keep exploring.